Back in my grad school days at Purdue, I did every kind of part time job imaginable: dishwasher, door checker, proctor, or invigilator, even a lifeguard. But all of that is nothing compared to some of the things that my friends or friends of friends did. One woke up at 5 a.m. to milk cows at the campus farm, another got paid multiple times, might I add, to serve as a test subject in psychology experiments, and one literally wore a mascot costume for a game in 90-degree heat. So today I'm ranking all of these campus jobs from the absolute worst to the most ROI positive, whether that's money earned or skills gained. Bottom of the barrel, dishwasher. I did this job for about a month, probably a little bit more than a month, and it's just hard to justify it. It's just, I mean, other than the fact that I came out with arms looking like that meme, it's just relentless. You're just scrubbing for 4 hours straight, and are you learning any skills? I don't know. You learn to keep your head down. Is it worth your while, and would I recommend it? No.
No, God!
In my case, as it turned out, that was the gateway to another job that I did actually really like, that I'll be getting to in just a bit. If there is absolutely nothing else you can do, fine, I guess you can be a dishwasher. Try to let's do better than that. Next up, in a different semester, I was a laundry associate. What were my job duties? Well, I just show up, there's a bunch of dirty rags, you throw them into the washer, and these are like giant industrial size washers that we're talking about. Eventually they'll be done, take them out, put them in the dryer, and you then just sit around, wait for it to be done, and when it's done, you just fold everything and put it back in their respective places. That's it. That's the whole job. 3 hour shifts. I think at the time it was $8 per hour. Again, not as bad as washing dishes, because at least you're just chilling and you're actually allowed to do homework or read or whatever it is that you want to do. But again, there's probably better uses for your time. Next up, campus farm worker. So I actually did not do this, thank God, I guess. But I had a very close friend that did, and yeah, it was very interesting. I've actually never even heard of this outside of this context. He had to wake up at 5 a.m. to go and milk cows, except the problem was that it's year round, like it never stops. Apparently, they just give milk all year round, and you have to be there at 5. And I don't know. I don't think there is a lot else to say on that other than that. Number 7, door checker. This was one of my own experiences, and I actually enjoyed it a decent amount. I felt like I learned a couple very important things about human psychology as it pertains to interaction with tech. Some might call that HCI, human computer interaction. That's actually a full blown course that product designers take. My job was to sit in a desk as students came in to eat their meals, and they had these smart cards that had meal balances. So say it said 10, that means you can like check in once and you have 9 left. Like simple gig, just kind of sit there and make sure there's no tailgaters, so to speak. Except what I saw was we had like a pretty cool and pretty instantaneous system that we used to buzz green immediately as soon as somebody checked their card or swiped their card correctly. Except because I was there, all of these students would look at the green and it beeped too. So there's like no doubt that it worked correctly. Except they would still look at me and wait for a nod or something to that effect before they could go in. Any technology, when you have a human stewarding it or guarding it, even if you build the best system that is, it's super responsive, it doesn't make you wait or anything. But because there is a person there, those students would still rather get the manual approval of the person. Now, I'm not saying every student did this, but just how many, just what a big percentage of students just continued to do this every single day. There were always your occasional tailgaters. Anyway, that was a fun time, surprisingly fun. And this is kind of sad that these are all of the jobs that I worked. Apparently, I've worked the worst job of them all. But number 6 was a floor associate at a co-recreational center. Think of it like the greatest, biggest, grandest gym of all time. This is an entire building dedicated to a gym. I would have to look up the exact square footage, but it's thousands. My job was to walk around. This was during COVID, so walk around and force masks, like wash rags, just kind of some overlap with the laundry stuff that I mentioned earlier. I remember one interesting aspect of this used to be, we used to have a track, like an indoor running track on the 4th floor. There was almost never anybody there ever, but there were a few times that I used to go up there and find just a single person in that entire floor. I mean, I would be scared if I were them, but they're just running, understandably not wearing a mask. And I used to feel bad, but it was my duty to still have them, like, wear a mask. It did teach me about, I don't know, following the rules. Sorry if you were expecting something more profound there. Number 5, and this is the last job that I worked, not even like a continuous gig. You just had to kind of apply online, and it was a fastest finger first type of deal. But exam proctor, this is always fun, right? Because no matter where in the world you go, there are always cheaters. If there is an exam, first of all, when you do try to cheat, and obviously you look up and you find the proctor staring at you, I feel like most people just have the, I don't know, self-respect to just not do that, at least immediately. It really was never that bad. I found that, at least compared to my engineering days back in India, things were much more civil. I found that the moment I let my guard down, bunch of students started to be looky loos all at the same time. So at which point I used to be like and just like look around, which seemed to do the trick. I think my biggest takeaway from that was the desire to score a couple more points in any exam is in fact universal. Number 4, Starbucks baristas. A bunch of my friends had this position. Obviously, the biggest perk was that with every shift you got a meal. I don't know if that included a drink and a food item, but you just got goodies with every shift. That I think was pretty incredible. I had that too on my door checker duty, but I don't know, I guess Starbucks is a bit cooler. When I quizzed them about it, they loved making coffee, especially if you enjoy having caffeine, or if if you're a caffeine fan. There's very few things that will be more rewarding than making coffee for other people. I don't know, if there's not much to say about that. It was just a part-time job that, oh yeah, it did pay much better than other jobs, and I think having that perk of having a food item is obviously super helpful. Number 3, aquatic center lifeguard. I lied earlier, sorry. This is actually another job that I worked as well. It was pretty chill. The reason I liked it was because you just got to hang out and read a book on like a ladder beside the pool, and this is like a world-class Olympic level facility. I've never seen an Olympic pool, but I always assumed that that's probably what it would look like. And I just hung out, and obviously nobody needed rescuing in the entire 2 months or ish that I was there. It was a sweet gig. Number 2, probably to nobody's surprise, research or teaching assistant shows up second on this list. Again, unfortunately, I was never able to grab one of these roles, but a bunch of my friends did. And it really did sound like the sweetest gig ever. First of all, it pays exponentially more than any other job on this entire list, right? Let's just start there. Some of them had their entire tuition waived off for an entire semester. Or all you have to do is set up office hours, go and sit in a class while very few disinterested students come to you and ask you for questions and such. Other than that, you were doing a lot of grading, which I don't know about you, but that sounds like a pretty sweet gig to me. I like to think that I would enjoy grading exam papers just to read what students have written. The other side of this is obviously a research assistant. Now that is, I would imagine, a little bit less fun because you actually have to do work every day. And then finally, and this might raise a few eyebrows, but I would say that my favorite, or the best, most highest ROI in terms of both money as well as skills, part-time job that you can do as an international student in the US is actually a computer lab tech assistant. The reason I say this is because the job experience that you get is actually extremely relevant to your resume. It's not like, I don't know, all of the jobs that I talked about above, none of them are listed in my resume, just mostly because they are completely irrelevant. This is not, right? Like when you become an IT support specialist, you're actually on the ground helping people solve their problems in real life. That teaches you a lot about, not just how troubleshooting works, but how people interact with technology. And it pays really well. Not as well as a research or teaching assistant, but you can easily make up to $15 or $20 per hour, which it really does add up quick without the added pressure or the continuity of the job that comes with a TA or RA shift. It also helps that you can choose your own hours and be really flexible. Another advantage over the TAs and RAs that, I wish I had this job. I remember applying for it. A friend of mine actually recommended it. He used to be the support guy at ICN at Purdue. They did, I don't know, it just got filled or whatever, so I was never able to join in. Anyway, that concludes my list. Thank you so much for watching. What would you like to mention as your favorite part-time job that you've ever done, or maybe one of your friends has ever done? Comment down below to let me know. Also comment what other videos I should make. Why have you watched till here and aren't even subscribed yet? That does not really make sense to me. Like, there's no reason that you're watching this and are not subscribed. Catch you all in the next one. Oh, and also I have a podcast. Check that out.